everyone. I'm Katie Darrell, and today we are at home and social with D Smoke, Grammy-nominated D Smoke. Congratulations. How are you?
Excellent. Thank you. I'm doing well. I can't complain, just enjoying these first days of the new year.
A new year, though. Thank God. But still, this
Yes,
COVID
right.
stuff is still wreaking havoc. I mean, even the Grammys were postponed because of COVID. Does that make your jitters become like almost like multiplied because you were looking towards a date and then they push it further? So you're like, oh, I'm gonna have these butterflies for more weeks.
Yeah, I was for sure looking forward to knowing by the end of January, and then when they said they pushed it back, I was like, oh, come on now. So, but it's all good. In due time, and we'll figure it out. We'll find out what happens.
Well, let's figure out what that day was like when you got, was it a phone call, an email? How were you alerted that you were nominated for 2 Grammy Awards?
You know what? Because it was around like Thanksgiving time, it was a lot of family in town and all that stuff. So I was heading out to like a family gathering at the gun range. We was going to shoot, with my mom and my brothers and everybody. And I got a FaceTime from my manager, Greg. And Greg was like, congrats, sir. And I was like, congrats on what? He was like, you Grammy nominated. I was like, what? What are you talking about? Because we had kind of grown accustomed to being like considered for a nomination. So I'm thinking like, well, they already considered us. So is it like a nomination? So he's like, you're Grammy nominated. So then we kind of, we had a little FaceTime celebration, and then, went and did my thing at the shooting range.
Now, when he told you you were nominated, were you very aware that that you were twice nominated, or did
Not
you have
yet.
to be like, wait, repeat that?
Not yet, no. So when he told me the news had just came out for the first one, they were still doing the announcements. So I hadn't yet. Then he called me back and was like, yeah, for Best New Artist too. So I was like, God damn, that's pretty cool. So
when he called back though, were you scared that he was going to be like, oh, never mind, I got it wrong?
No, I didn't think that. I was like, they're not about to take it back. But I for sure was like, excited. And then when he called back, I'm like, wait, what do you mean? I just had to process it all because, we put in a whole lot of work, and we had to make some real decisions on how much of ourselves we wanted to put into the music, how much of my story, my family story, did I want to be transparent with. So, when you're in that, I could easily be like, all right, let me say some impressive stuff, or let me entertain people throughout this whole project without necessarily divulging so much personal content. And that would have been safe, but we chose to go the other route. And then, when we're recognized for it, it's like, wow, that's a whole different feeling.
So give me some percentages then. So there was the safe route of kind of keeping stuff private versus laying it all out on the table. How much is really laid out on the table here? Is this 80%, 90?
I mean, it's all there. It's all there.
Okay.
Even when we go the route of like, okay, we want to have some, some entertainment value to it. We never compromise the story, the content, what it's about. So it's 100% reality, and it's just different facets of that reality, whether it be me being young, aggressive fighter Smoke, or, talking about the family, talk about my upbringing, or being intellectual Smoke, conscious, and dealing with some things, whether in the Black experience, the Black community, or just my personal experience in Inglewood. So it's just different facets of that whole story.
Let's talk about your musical upbringing, because you are from a musical family.
Yeah.
This makes sense to you, doing music. You grew up, did you sing gospel, or was it your siblings?
I mean, I grew up in the church, so as far as like, did we ever sing gospel? Yes,
Sure.
Singing in church with my brothers, with my mom. But my mom was a gospel musician, writer, artist, and so we grew up watching her and learning from her in the house. She was also a music teacher, so in the house we received like personalized voice instructions, piano lessons, music theory lessons. And that was kind of the foundation of us growing into writers, producers, and artists. And I mean, it goes even further than my mom. Her older brother, by the name of Andrew Goucher, he was Prince's bass player and Shaka Khan's MD for so long, and so he's just like an incredible bass player, and he plays on a lot of my stuff too. You know, now I'll be like, hey, can you come over here and play some of them bass licks on my song? So he's on my song It's Okay that we just released, as well as like Closer to God and some other things. So but and even beyond that, my grandmother is an incredible piano player and vocalist. So it's definitely
so
a
then
part
with
of
your
my mom's
with
side.
your mom teaching all that, you can read music. You just don't play by ear. You can read, right? The music.
I can read. I'm rusty. You know, I can
Yeah.
read a little bit. I might pause and be like,
Just
let
a
me take
twinkle,
away
twinkle, little star.
you know what I'm saying? Like, no, I can read, but it'll take me some time. When I used
Yeah.
to read like complex classical pieces,
Mhm.
I would read it to memorize it. You know, I would
Right.
read it so that I learned it. Then I'd be like, all right, get that out of my way. Just play it. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't just like sit there and every week put a new piece in front of me and just look at it and start playing that. That wasn't my way of going about it, because any one piece of music is going to spark a million ideas for me, because I'm also creative. I also write, and you know, so once you learn something, you want to play around with it and then make it yours. So, or I do at least.
Speaking of the creative process, obviously, music is now a visual platform as well. You have to think about the music video.
Absolutely.
Bring me through that journey and how your music videos are conceptualized. Are these your ideas? Do you work with a team? What's the process?
They all start off as my ideas. You know, like this is what I want to do. Like I picture this, and it's an incomplete idea because I like to leave room for directors to say, oh, for this project, I'd like to try something I haven't done yet. So I like to leave room in those ideas. But, you know, I like to think outside the box when I'm approaching the visuals, you know, incorporate different art forms, whether it be dance, you know what I'm saying, play with angles, play with different colors and things like that. So they all start off there, but I love working with different directors, really talented directors like, you know, Child, Sergio, you know, a lot of people.
Your album, for those of you just tuning in,
Mhm.
I'm Katie Darrell, and today we are at home and social with D Smoke, Grammy nominated for
Yes.
2 Grammys this year. I'm sure more to come in the future. Your album,
Mhm.
Black Habits, this was an independently released album.
Yes.
At what point did you decide I am going to do this independently versus I'm going to wait and try to get someone to back this? Because so many artists are scared to just put it out there and give it away for free, you know, without the big man backing them up. At what point you decide I'm doing it my way and I'm putting it out now and I'm not waiting any longer?
So it's independent, but I have a company that I partner with in distributing the album and seeing to it that there is somewhat of a budget, not the major label budget, but so that we can package it and promote it and market it in a way that, you know, gives people, the most people, an opportunity to discover the music, love the music, share the music, all of those wonderful things. So but I intentionally, you know, wanted to make sure I maintained ownership in my masters, keep my ownership in just my creative content, how we go about things. Like when I'm ready to release, we release. You know, it's not this like there's no A&R that's like not yet. You know, to stay back. You know, nobody's gonna tell me when I can't put out my music or when I'm not ready. You know, I will consult with my team and we'll discuss what the strategy is behind it and try to move intentionally. But there's no big bad boogeyman that's like, yeah, nah, Smoke, we need more of this in there. You know what I'm saying? So,
Sure.
and not that that's everybody's experience at a label, but I know that coming from the classroom into this degree of artistry, there are some things that I wanted to have control over, and we entertained the idea. You know, it wasn't like we were like, hell no, we're not doing that. We entertained the idea. We had some conversations, but I don't think they were ready for me to be as upfront about how much control I wanted. You know, they respected it, but you know, they didn't meet the terms that I requested. So I was like, all right, well, we're gonna have to show y'all that we're capable of putting ourselves in that conversation, you know, independently. So
You are nominated in 2 Grammy categories, okay? Best new artist and best rap album. let's talk about the competition.
Mhm.
Let's break it down. All right.
Wait,
There's a
say
lot
that
of cool-
again.
I said, let's talk about the competition. All right. You got a lot of great
Okay.
names in this
Okay.
categories with you. In Best New Artist, we got Noah Cyrus is in there, Doja Cat, Megan Thee Stallion. When you see your name amongst these other names, who gives you the goosebumps? Who are you most excited to be like, well, won't it be nice to sit at a luncheon next to you?
I mean, those are all incredible artists. I think nobody really gives me the goosebumps because the beauty of that, the new artist category is everybody's so different. You
Yeah.
know, I admire all that they do, and so, but I wouldn't say any of them give me the goosebumps.
Okay, then let's
I'm not
jump.
afraid of the outcome one way or another.
Right. It's always nice just to get invited to the party, right?
You know,
Getting the invite to go. Let me ask you about best rap album. All right. So anyone in
Yes.
that category give you the goosebumps?
I mean, goosebumps ain't the word, but I'm among good company. I've spent some time listening to all of those artists. You know, I went on a good run and listened to Royce's for the Allegory, and he did his thing. Nas, not just this album, but his whole catalog. I'm very familiar with his work, and I'm a big fan. When I was at UCLA, it was they said we NIGGER, we are much more. That project was like, man, he's really, to be able to be that conscious and that good at music at the same time, like that really inspired me, and I think influenced the rapper that I am. So I'm among good company again. I wouldn't say anybody gives me the goosebumps again because I only measure my success based on what I can control, and I can control the quality of the music that I put out. I can't control who decides to give an award or how people vote. I can just put my best foot forward. So, we're not shaking in our boots, but it's respect to everybody that we're considered amongst.
So much is probably going to change between now and the actual Grammy event. I mean, hey, more postponements can come. You never know, right?
Right.
But that being said,
Don't say that.
what do you have an outfit picked out? Do you plan to attend? What's the game
I might
plan?
just wear this.
Hey,
I might
it's
just wear some
cozy.
sweats. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I don't have an outfit just yet. We're trying to figure that out still.
I said, do you have a plan though? I mean, you going big? You going casual? Like, what's the vibe here? What can we expect? Will there be a label?
I mean,
do we need to get you a sponsor? Come on.
I don't have that just yet. We just started those conversations. Once we found out it was pushed back, we was like, all right, that gives us time.
Gives you time.
But I have a friend who's a dope designer by the name of Riza that she did like the custom vest for my It's Okay video shoot and like custom jeans, and then she also did Sir's custom outfit for my video for Closer to God. So her sense of style and her vision and understanding my artistry is pretty cool. So if we could partner with my friend who I've been working with and like a larger brand, I think that would be something cool to see. So we'll see what's up.
Were you a kid that grew up watching the Grammys and looking forward to those performances?
Absolutely. Yeah. I did.
Did anything stick out to you? I hate to put you on the spot, but I mean, there were so many great performances over time. And I mean, some of them are big and elaborate. Like, I mean, even just to me, like thinking of like the first time, like when Pink even performed and came down doing that aerial burlesque stuff. And you're like, what's happening? And then when they always do just paying homage to people, like when Prince unfortunately passed and just all the different collaborations. What moments stick out for you when you watch the awards?
Those, it's like a blur right now.
Yeah.
But I look forward to I'm big on live music. So while people are looking at the like aerial stuff, like I'm wondering where the band is at, because they got the band like in the pit somewhere, and you can just hear these live music and crazy feels and instrumentation and arrangements on the song that you're used to hearing, but you're not hearing embellished the way they are during the performance. So that's more like what I pay attention to, because coming up as a musician first, even before rap, I'm listening for those type of things. So I just enjoy that. But of course, this past year I've had a chance to dabble into some of the set design and, you know, all of those things. I still haven't like hovered down into the room yet. So, but yeah, I look forward to it nonetheless. It's entertaining, but I just love the live music element. And I
Now,
just,
obviously,
sometimes I wish they would put it more on stage than like in the pit and like hidden behind everything.
It's easy and exciting to talk about the Grammys because, you know, hey, being nominated for a Grammy or two is impressive, but you always have to think beyond that. I mean, the day doesn't end there, you know. What are you working on? What's on your 2021 vision board, if you will?
My 2021 vision board, I have a project that's close to being finished. It's really dope. I'm excited about that. And then I also have a book that's written that I'm looking to kind of publish and shop for, not just to be the book, but also to be the series or the movie, whichever one best fits. So they're just branching out, solidifying what we're doing in music by dropping another incredible project, but also branching out into other things, other fields of entertainment. You know, I started off acting back in high school before I went to college, and you know, so we're looking at what the right roles to kind of branch out into that world will be. So
that's amazing. Tell me about some of your favorite things. What do you like? Favorite foods, favorite colors, favorite cars. Let's just get into you.
Favorites. My favorite, I like Thai food. Like Thai food, it does it for me. You know, pad see you. I love seafood, period. You know, coconut seafood soup from a Thai spot, papaya salad.
Oh yeah.
You know, my favorite artist of all time is Stevie Wonder. You know, my favorite rap group is Outkast. So those are a couple favorites.
Yeah.
You know, favorite shoe, Chuck Taylor's, you know. So a couple favorites there.
Of course, of course. And growing up, music. I know obviously you said Stevie Wonder was a huge influence for you. I'm sure you had a bunch of his albums. I mean, well, you're so young. It's not even out. You were beyond. You were in DVDs. you grew up DVD, right? And CDs and all that. What albums were you buying and saving up your allowance for?
I probably saved up for so my brother gave me ATLiens from Outkast. I saved up for Aquemini and Stankonia. Like, and then by the time I was driving and could put stuff in my car, it was all kind of music I was into, like ranging from Corrupt and his younger brother Roscoe, all that stuff that DJ Battle Cat produced. You know, Snoop Blue Carpet Treatment was one I had in my car that I used to roll to. All the way to stuff like Floetic, you know, and Brandy, Full Moon. I had some of everything. Beyonce, you know. My first car was a 2000 hatchback Honda Civic, and so I used to roll through the streets on 17-inch rims with 210s in the trunk, listening to those CDs. And it wasn't even, I don't even think it was a CD changer, which is kind of where I come from, like how I listen to music and how I listen to whole entire projects, because it wasn't like, you know, it was stages. A CD changer, you could listen to a whole project then switch with one button, whereas or you can listen to your favorite song and switch with a button. Once you pop a CD into a single disc CD player, you like, I'm listening to this whole thing because I'm already on the move. I ain't switching out stuff. So when I make a project, I want people to be able to listen to it that way, even though they can go to their phone, curate a playlist, and all those different things that change how listeners approach music. So, but yeah, that's how I used to roll with my little Honda.
There are a lot of kids and young musicians that look up to you. What motivational things could you tell them to try it, to do it, to lay down their first beat, to write their lyrics, to keep a poetry journal? What advice and inspiration could you give them? Because so many people feel paralyzed and think that they can't do it.
Gotcha. I like to say extend the runway. Like a lot of people be like, I want to do this by this time, you know, like extend that runway. If you want to do it as a lifestyle, if you want to do it for a long period of time, give yourself a longer period of time to achieve those goals. Set some deadlines or some benchmarks for when you want to do it, but you know, extend the time frame that you see yourself achieving those lofty goals so that You can, you know, you can take some time out to study, take some time out to rest in between and come back to it. You know, take some time out to travel, to sit and be quiet before you write. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people rush into music and they think music is some old like assembly line, McDonald's crank out a burger patty, then, you know, serve it, wrap it in plastic and serve it. It's not that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to plant those seeds in your real life so that your music actually offers people something versus like just giving them something. You know, we got plenty. It's already enough music out. You know, why should we listen to yours? You know, and that's some real internal work people got to do. So give yourself time for that.
Got to do the therapy, got to do the work,
Period.
right?
Period. Do the work.
Thank you so much for spending time with us today. I really appreciate it. Good luck at the Grammys and congratulations on those 2 nominations. Real big deal.
Awesome. Thank you. It's been a pleasure speaking with you.